Hey there, it's Brian here, and in this video I want to show you, if you're a sales manager or a business owner, how physiotherapy can actually help you improve the performance of an individual contributor. So whether you have somebody who's underperforming that you're trying to rescue, or you've got a good salesperson that you're trying to improve, physio can help, believe it or not. Now you might think that sounds a little crazy, which it kind of is. So let me give you some context and tell you what I'm talking about and what is the relationship between sales and physiotherapy. I suffer with quite a bad back at times, and at times I can end up with a headache and a neck ache and a shoulder ache, and my lower back hurts and my left hip hurts and my legs hurt and my right calf will go into these hideous cramps. So I go to physiotherapy. This has been an ongoing problem for many, many years. So I go to this physiotherapist and she'll get me to do a few bends and this sort of stuff and just, do a bit of diagnosis as we do. And then more often than not, she'll say, right, get on the bed, hold on to the top of the bed, face down. She'll put a strap around my ankle and she gives a huge yank on my left leg. And you often get this little pop as well. Now, why she's doing that is because I get something called a pelvis upslip. So basically it means my pelvis goes out of alignment. And because it is out of alignment, it means the muscles on my right-hand side of the body start to compensate, which causes kind of the shoulder muscles over here to counter-compensate, which then causes a problem in my neck, which gives me a headache. And on the lower half, it does the same sort of thing. My legs are out of alignment, so there's more weight on one than the other, so the calf starts to cramp. So it creates this path of pain, as she calls it, that kind of goes all the way down my body, like a pinball machine. It starts over here and ding, 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 all the way down, as everything is trying to, compensate for everything else. So she'll pull my leg and I'll get almost instant relief. Not quite sometimes, but almost instant relief. And she'll just work on that and some exercises around that kind of the pelvis and the hip, etc., to kind of free that up. Now, if it doesn't fully fix the problem, then a few days later, maybe I'll go back and she might do some massage on some of the muscles and things, just to kind of re-stretch them and do a bit of head manipulation and things like that. And so she'll then just work on something else for a while and give me some exercises and some takeaways to work on that particular area. So why do I tell you this story? Well, this is its relationship to sales and to sales leadership in particular. Because what happens is, often as a sales leader, when there's a problem with an individual, we focus on the whole sometimes, or we focus on elements of the sales process, but at a very macro type level. And what we need to do is actually try and find what is the root cause of the problem, like she does. So I have all these kind of pain points. She could try and work on any one of those, but unless she fixes this upslip, I will always be in pain and everything else will always be compensating. So that's how physio can help you become a better sales manager or sales leader, because if you can focus on the core problem and just a small element, a micro part of maybe the bigger picture, you can coach much more effectively. You can provide much more granular tactics and tips to help that individual improve that one thing, which means they get typically faster results as well. The problem is sometimes we overwhelm an individual with too many things. And what I call complexity is the enemy to execution, is a phrase that I use. And what I'm trying to say is that sometimes if it's too complex and there's too many things, it creates confusion and nothing really changes. We're kind of dabbling and not getting to the root cause. You get the idea. And that's how physiotherapy, or the concept or principle of physiotherapy, can help you become a much better sales manager and coach in particular, and can really help those individuals improve much faster. So focus on just some key areas. I use a framework, I call it my repair diagnostic framework. I look at things like their effort. I look at the processes they use, their intelligence. And by that, I don't mean they're a bit of a dummy. I mean just their knowledge base. Do they know what to do and how to do it? Or do they actually just need some training or coaching or shadowing or whatever it might be? I look at the people that they're selling to, the relationships they have. And so I have this 6-part framework. It's a bit like when she gets me to do the bends and a few twists and things to try and look at what might be wrong. This diagnostic framework is the same kind of thing. It's like a little series of health checks to identify the kind of the root cause. So that's what I would suggest you do. And if you want to find out more about that, then DM me or leave a comment wherever you're watching this video, and I'll get back to you and we can have a conversation. I can share with you perhaps some of those tactics and things that might help you. But I want you to, when you're coaching your sales individuals now, I want you to think of me all kind of crippled and broken and in pain, purely not in a sadistic way, obviously, but purely as a metaphor for this individual, and thinking about in their sales processes, or their total sales kind of activities, what might be one thing that we could focus on that could be the root cause, I guess, of other things that are happening. But if it needs more things fixing, that's fine. Like I said, she fixed my hips, and then another day she might work on some muscles and stuff. But find that one thing and then just focus on that. And what you'll find, as I said, you'll get quite quick results when you have a micro element of the whole picture to actually focus on. So this is why a lot of sales managers will say to me, "Oh, I don't want to micromanage." You probably do, actually. I know we have this kind of disbelief that micromanaging is bad. And I'm not talking about, you're on somebody's case every day kind of micromanaging. I'm talking about trying to find the micro elements of a bigger picture that we can focus on at any one time. That's what I mean by micromanaging. So it's actually not a bad thing. It's just kind of the perception you have, or the way you're looking at it. So just find the root cause, work on that. When that's fixed, then we can work on the other components, and gradually you will see a change. But you'll see that much faster, and it's much more measurable and tangible for everybody if they are kind of smaller bite-sized chunks. So I trust that kind of makes sense, and now you can see how physiotherapy could actually help you improve the sales performance of an individual contributor. So, with all that said, I'll leave it there. As I said, my name is Brian Conway. If you need any help in improving sales performance, please just reach out to me. We can have a chat and see if there's anything I can do for you. I'll be more than happy to just share with you some tips and tactics that I think will help in the short term. I'd also appreciate, actually, before I go, any likes, shares, comments, all that sort of stuff, and reposts, etc. It's always appreciated when I'm putting this content out there, just to get it out to more people who I hope will benefit from it. So that's it. Have a great week of selling ahead, and I wish you all the best in your coaching and management activities. Bye-bye.